This is the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, keeping you informed about the happenings in Annapolis and the area. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and of course, local weather. The Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Friday, August 2nd, 2019. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Yesterday afternoon, County Executive Stuart Pittman announced finally that there will be a nominee for the county health officer. Now, this position has been vacant since before Pittman took office, and he has nominated Dr. Nilesh Kalyanaraman. The doctor is currently the Chief Health Officer for Health Care for the Homeless, which is a nonprofit with 245 staff that provides health care and housing to support 10,000 people annually. That's based up in Baltimore. Upon his selection, Pittman said, "Anne Arundel County's long quest for a permanent health officer is finally over, and I am confident that we found the right person for the job." The work that Dr. Kalyanaraman did in Baltimore demonstrates that he knows how to confront not only the acute health needs of residents, but also the underlying social detriments of public health. He will bring together residents, providers, and dedicated staff at our health department to implement our vision of healthy people and healthy communities. Kalyanaraman did run for the House of Delegates in Baltimore last election cycle. Now, the process is that county executive will formally nominate him to the county council on September 3rd. There will be a public hearing that evening as well. If approved, that will go over to the office of Governor Larry Hogan, where he needs to sign off on that because the health department works sort of with the county and the state. It's one of those weird things like the state's attorney's office. If successful and if appointed by the governor, Dr. Kalyanaraman will replace Billy Penley, who has served as the acting health officer since August of 2018. And Billy Penley is the CFO for the health department, and she will go back to that position as soon as possible. Sort of a weird story out of GLEN, BURNIE. On July 31st, very early in the morning, firefighters responded to 635 Binstead Road for a house fire. It took them 10 minutes to control the fire. It caused about $30,000 worth of damage. And while they were putting it out, a gentleman approached one of the firefighters and said, "Hey, I set that fire." Anne Arundel County Police investigated, and sure enough, they found that the person who said that was indeed the homeowner. He was arrested and charged with first-degree arson and reckless endangerment. His name is Dennis Boyer. He's 58 of that residence, and he's had some problems in the past. The house itself was in foreclosure. There was a protective order taken against him earlier that day, which prevented him from contacting a plaintiff, going to the employment, going to the house, and also required him to surrender any weapons, which is the Maryland red flag law. And then the day before this fire, he was popped by the Maryland State Police at West Street and eastbound Route 50 for a DUI. So he had some problems there. He has been released on his own recognizance. Late Wednesday night, at about 11:30, the Annapolis Police Department and the Annapolis Fire Department responded to the intersection of Bay Ridge Avenue and Benz Drive for a pedestrian struck by a vehicle. When they arrived, they determined that there was a 34-year-old woman carrying a 3-year-old child, which was struck by a vehicle as they attempted to cross the roadway, not in a crosswalk. Contrary to some discussions on social media, the driver of the vehicle did immediately stop and remained at the scene to talk with police. The two were transported by helicopter to regional hospitals in Baltimore. There is no word on the status of their injuries at this point. Now, that area of the roadway is frequently crossed by residents of the Bay Ridge Gardens apartments, moving between their neighborhood and the Shell gas station, and sometimes over to McDonald's. There really should be some lighting there and some more crosswalks, if you ask me. When I told you about a missile launcher being found at BWI, I thought that was kind of unusual, but apparently it happened again yesterday. BWI TSA officials seized another missile launcher brought back, this time on a military transport operated by American Airlines. It was discovered at about 5:20 a.m. yesterday, and it was an Air Force sergeant that brought it back as a memento for the service. Apparently, this is a common practice for service members to bring mementos from war zones and little keepsakes from the countries where they served. I don't know, I think a t-shirt might be a little bit less of a hassle. This will be some fodder for President Trump, but the home of Congressman Cummings was robbed early Saturday morning in Baltimore. According to WJZ, the break-in in the home happened at 3:40 a.m., which was about 6 hours before President Trump went on his Twitter barrage against the congressman. According to WJZ, it's not clear whether anything was taken from his home, and detectives from the Baltimore City Police Department's Central District are investigating. Hey, we all know how quaint and fantastic our own town is. Well, Southern Living magazine has nominated Annapolis as one of the best college towns in America. Go figure. Annapolis is a lot of things, but boy, the best college town in America, I'm not sure that would even come anywhere close to being on my list. But it is a popularity contest, and you can vote for Annapolis as the best college town if you want. You can go to southernliving.com/SouthsBestVote. And when you do vote, you are entered into a contest personally to win a $2,500 grand prize or one of 3 $500 prizes. I'm not sure Annapolis is ever going to be known as one of the best college towns in America. But I'll tell you, there is a good contest that we need to keep our eye on, and we will know on Monday about this serious contest. Art Farm was in the running for a $10,000 gift from Howard Bank, and that winner is going to be announced on Monday morning. So we're pretty excited about that. Hopefully Allison and Darren will be spending somebody else's money. All right, that does it for the news today. Please make sure you're checking out eyeonannapolis.net throughout the day because we do update it throughout the day. Give us a click on that first link in our show notes because that'll tell you all the different ways you can get in touch with us. Give us a rating or a review if you're someplace where you can do that. Give us a recommendation to your friends and family. And make sure you tune in on Saturday because we're dropping a new episode of our Legacy Business Spotlight series, and this one is a good one. It is Friday. We've got our list of suggestions of things that you may want to consider this weekend. And of course, like we have every day, we have George Young with your local DMV weather forecast. And he's coming up right after this message about kegs and corks.
Hey, it's Gina Crash. Join me Saturday, August 17th for the Kegs and Corks Festival at the Anne Arundel County Fairgrounds. Tickets benefit the Special Olympics of Maryland and include a souvenir glass, unlimited wine and beer samples, plus live music by Amish Outlaws, J. Coursey Willis and the Stone Authors, and XPD Band. Enjoy over 80 Maryland wines, 40 craft beers, incredible food, unique arts and crafts, and more. Go now to kegsandcorksfest.com for tickets.
Going out? You need the most up-to-date local weather. Here's George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis with today's forecast.
Hey everyone, this is George with DMV Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Friday, August 2nd. Another day with temps in the 80s and showers and storms in the mix for Annapolis and all of Anne Arundel County, which will remain the theme to start off the weekend tomorrow before skies likely clear out for most of Sunday, though some AM storms are still possible as temps climb back into the upper 80s to maybe low to mid 90s. But don't let any of that keep you from getting out and about today through Sunday as we get into our first full weekend of the last full month of summer break away from school for kids. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DMV Weather. Make it a great weekend out there, and be sure to get our free app on all of your devices by searching for DCMD VA Weather in the Apple or Google App Stores, and also follow us on Facebook and Twitter and on our website at dmvweather.com so you can always stay weather informed.
Have you ever been to the Annapolis Mall when it opens for the day? Maybe you've noticed the line of folks waiting to get into the Apple Store. As you may know, I'm a Mac user, and today's episode of the Daily News Brief, in fact, all of the episodes of the Daily News Brief have been produced right here on my Mac computer. What you might not know about is MacMedics. They were founded here in Annapolis in 1989, and they are an Apple-authorized premium service provider, the only one in the Baltimore-Annapolis, D.C. area. And what that means to you is that they repair all Apple devices, including the iPhone screens and batteries, all without an appointment. And most repairs are done the same day, usually within 2 hours. They also sell everything except the iPhone and the watch for the same price as Apple. I don't know why you would go anywhere else. Give them a call at 410-757-MACS, or if you're not into the whole letter thing, 410-757-6227. Stop by their retail store in Severna Park on Benfield Road, or their service center in Lanham, right off of Route 50. Or you can always check them out online at macmedics.com. I'll tell you, they've saved me quite a few times, and I know they can save you.
Every weekend, there's something exciting going on in the Annapolis area. Be sure to visit eyeonannapolis.net to sign up for a newsletter highlighting all the weekend events. Here are our top picks for this weekend.
Thank God it's
Yes, it is Friday again, and we've got a good list of things that you want to consider for the weekend, and it gets underway tonight with the 74th annual Annapolis Rotary Crab Feast. Now, this is billed as the largest crab feast in the world. I'm not sure who measured that, but I can tell you this is one huge feast. It does take place at the Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. It gets underway at 5 p.m., goes till about 8 p.m. They're going to have plenty of number one male crabs to eat. Those are the big ones: Maryland vegetable crab soup, sweet Maryland corn. They'll have hot dogs for those that don't eat crabs. They'll have soda. They'll have beer. It is a great time, if not a smelly time. And a cool thing is that they recycle or compost 100% of the trash out of there. Not one bit of the remnants of the crab feast go into a landfill. Sliding into Saturday, another event over at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. This one is free. It gets underway at 10 a.m., and it is the 2019 Navy Football Fan Fest / Media Day. Navy players are going to be lined up on the concourse on the blue side, signing autographs on their posters from 10 to 11. The first 250 kids are going to get a free t-shirt when they come in the gate. And if you drive there, you should enter off of Taylor Avenue in Gate 5. There is a $5 charge to park. However, admission to the festival itself is free. Now, down on the field, they're going to have inflatables. They're going to have players down there taking pictures with you and interacting with everybody. They'll have giveaways. They'll have live music. WNAV does always broadcast from the field, and NAV is celebrating their 70th birthday. They just did that the other week, so congratulations to WNAV. I am looking forward to getting a preview of 2019 Navy football, and if you're looking to put this game on your calendar, it is Navy Holy Cross at home, 3:30 on August 31st. That's the first home game of the season. Tomorrow night at 6 p.m. at Quiet Waters Park, there is a free concert. Anne Arundel County Department of Recreation and Parks, as well as the Friends of Quiet Waters Park, are hosting Fractal Cat, which is a psychedelic rock band. It is free. There are no ticket sales. You just come in, pick a good spot on the lawn, and watch a free concert. 2 Guys in a Grill and Kona Ice will be on site for you to give you food and something nice and cool to drink. And you can start to come into the park for free after 4 p.m. And moving into Sunday, because it is August 4th, it is the first Sunday of August, which means it is time for the First Sunday Arts Festival. There will be about 130 local and regional artists. You can eat at outdoor cafes, food trucks, have plenty of entertainment, all in the first couple blocks of West Street and that first little block of Calvert Street. This will get underway at 11 a.m. It'll wrap up at about 5 p.m. Always a fun time, and the weather right now looks pretty good for Sunday. First Sunday Arts Festival, downtown Annapolis. And rounding out the weekend, a little bit later on Sunday at 4 p.m. at Maryland Hall, yet another free concert. This is the Naval Academy Band's Superintendent's Combo. Is going to be presenting an afternoon of jazz. Chief musician Colin Rennick will be on saxophone and clarinet. The Superintendent's Combo will perform a stroll through jazz history from Dixieland to bebop, from swing to fusion and funk. And you can expect to hear pieces by Louis Armstrong, Duke Ellington, and Thelonious Monk. Again, 4 p.m. Sunday at Maryland Hall. All right, that's some good choices you've got to pick from this weekend. Have fun, be safe. We'll see you on Monday, and have a great weekend.
There is a diamond of diamonds. It's from De Beers. Only 14 diamantaires in the world can touch them. Its name, Forevermark. And Zachary's is the only jeweler in the Annapolis area that has it. Not only is it beautiful and rare, it has a story, supporting women in diamond-producing areas around the world. So when you give a Forevermark diamond, you don't just give, you give back. Zachary's and Forevermark, a jeweler and a jewel. Online at zacharysjewelers.com.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., keeping you informed with the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. And take a moment to listen to our other podcast, The Maryland Crabs, released every Thursday at noon.